From Atlanta, Georgia, welcome to Fearfully and Wonderfully Me, a podcast for women on leadership and life skills with Rhea Story. Rhea shares powerful life and leadership principles, helping you maximize your potential and become the woman God created you to be.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode on a lesson from Pancakes. It was Christmas morning, and one of the things Mac has wanted to do for a long time is have Christmas morning breakfast here at our house. And in the years past, we've never been able to do that because we're always in a rush to go somewhere or travel somewhere else, and so it's always last minute cooking and packing up and then leaving the house and to go spend the Christmas Day holiday with family elsewhere. But this year it worked out where we actually got to spend Christmas Day here at home for the first time ever. And so we got to enjoy just a really peaceful, relaxing Christmas. We made some hot chocolate and, just got up and sat by the fire and drank some hot chocolate. And then about mid-morning, we had some Christmas breakfast. We had some pancakes and eggs and sausage or he did rather, because one of the things I love to do is I love to love on people by cooking for them. And Mac is always very grateful and appreciative when I do because he enjoys the cooking. So he's always very, very grateful and very appreciative when I cook. And so I love to do it for him. I love to love on people by cooking a delicious meal or good treats. So Christmas morning, I was getting ready to make the pancakes, and the biggest thing about pulling a meal like that is not just cooking everything, but cooking everything so that it comes out hot and fresh and done all at the same time. So you got, I've got the whole stove covered up. I've got one frying pan going with pancakes, and then I got one frying pan going with the sausage, and another frying pan skillet going for the scrambled eggs, and everything's got to be stirred and flipped and switched and managed so that it doesn't burn, but it doesn't come out undercooked, and all that's got to come out together. So, it's almost a work of art for me to pull together a breakfast like that and have everything hot and fresh and ready at the same time. And so one of the things that as I'm getting ready to do, I'm always telling Mac, I'm like, okay, we're just got a few minutes now before it's ready. And he'll say, okay. And then I'll say, okay, it's ready. I'm putting it on the plate. And he'll say, okay, I'm coming. And then I'll say, hey, it's on the table. It's getting cold, because I don't know about you, but I don't like eggs to begin with, but cold scrambled eggs are absolutely no good. So I want him to know, it's hot and it's on the table and it's going to get cold pretty quickly. And it's funny because it's almost like I expect him to be sitting in the chair waiting for me to serve the plate up rather than come when it's ready. And I kind of got tickled at myself because I think back over the years, it's like I've always, as I get ready to cook, I give him an update of how close and how quickly, and I want him to come eat it right away. And it's almost like the story I tell myself is that if he's not sitting in the chair right as I'm dishing it up, then he's not grateful for it. Now, that's not true. Mac is very appreciative and very grateful all the time for when I cook something. But it's the story I have told myself over the years that if he's not sitting down and ready and, fork and knife in hand, waiting on a plate, then he's not looking forward to the meal. And it's really a story that I have told myself in years past. And I caught myself on Christmas morning doing it yet again. I was telling Mac, hey, it's ready, just a couple minutes. Then I dish up the hot eggs and the pancakes. And I say, it's on the table, it's going to get cold. And he says, I'm coming. And I always love to have food as soon as it's ready because it's hot, whereas Mac likes it to be a little bit cooler so it doesn't burn his tongue. So he's always waiting for the food to cool off a little bit before he sits down and it's ready to eat. Whereas my perception is it's ready to eat right now and you should be sitting there waiting on it because I've cooked it. So I caught myself doing it. And I've gotten much better about that and realizing, you know what, as long as he knows it's ready, he'll come when he's ready and he'll eat it when he wants to. And that's fine. It doesn't mean he's not grateful for it. So I've really gotten much better at catching myself in that story, in that scenario. And yet again, on Christmas Day, I had to catch myself and say, you know what, he knows the food is ready, long as he knows it's there and he can come when he wants to. And that's okay. And then it hit me. You know what? I bet God has the same experience with us sometimes. It's like we have all of these blessings around us, and all we have to do is sit down at the table and enjoy them. And sometimes we're not quick enough to come and say thank you. I bet God has the same frustration with us sometimes, that I feel like when I'm like, man, I've slaved over a stove and cooked a hot meal. Come and get it as soon as it's ready. It's right here for you. All you have to do is sit down and enjoy it. And how many blessings do we have every single day that we forget to appreciate because we're so focused on doing something else or what we didn't get, or we tend to focus. It's almost a distraction. We tend to get focused on what we don't have, and we forget that we just have to be grateful for what God has given us. And it was really a paradigm shift for me, and kind of a lesson in thinking about not just expressing gratitude, because I think we know that we should do that, and we do a good job of that, but living in gratitude. John F. Kennedy said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. To live by them. So, I wanted to think about that. And as we go into the next year, it's always a time for reflection on what can I do better next year? What do I need to work on? And I think that I want to work on that. I want to work on living with more gratitude, not just expressing more gratitude verbally, but actually showing through my actions, not just to the people around me, but also, remembering to live with gratitude toward what God has given me, to be grateful in my actions as well as my words. Am I demonstrating gratefulness to the people around me, to my family, to my loved ones, but also am I demonstrating gratitude to God? God, I'm so thankful for waking up this morning, and yes, it might be cold and I've got to get out and go exercise in the cold, but man, I'm so grateful to have the health to be able to do that. Or how many people didn't wake up this morning with the ability to turn their heat on? And sometimes I think we might express gratitude verbally, but we don't always live by it. So I really want to just share that little lesson from you, kind of a lesson that I learned from Pancakes this week, and just challenge you to live with a little more gratitude, not just in your words, but also in your actions. Until next time.
Start increasing your influence and maximizing your potential with Ria's audiobooks. Available at audible.com, amazon.com, and iBooks. Please visit riastory.com to learn about Ria's books, resources, speaking, and training programs. Thanks for listening.